I think one of the things that the stories of the actual people with cancer that we looked at really brought home was how little of their time, even as people with very serious diseases, they spend viewing themselves as patients. And actually 99% of your time, even when you're very, very unwell, you're a person. And cancer stops you from doing all the things you want to do as a person. It cuts you off from your family, it stops you being able to do the activities that you rely on, it puts financial pressure on you, it's devastating to your whole life. What we wanted to do was take an approach which got behind the numbers and got really into the detail of what those numbers meant for people's lives in reality.
So SROI stands for Social Return on Investment, and it's a take-up from the accounting measures of return on investment, but particularly suited for social measures and social valuations. So anything in society that you do, let's say building houses, building playgrounds, building schools, building hospitals, they have a social return on investment because they're associated with uplifting the welfare of a society. So they're more than just money exchanging hands or businesses being run. They improve the well-being of a society, and hence social return on investment becomes more appropriate as a term to measure them.
So we looked at voice, choice and control because we realised that everybody's story is different and everybody's challenge, even though on paper is the same, they will be dealing with it in an entirely different way. So we tried to look at the findings by these three categories to sort of identify in that sense, okay, the advocate is giving you a greater voice because they've helped you understand some information, and that in itself has given you the power to make a decision for yourself.
When you have so much to worry about and you're at your most vulnerable, actually reaching out and connecting with those things you need is really, really difficult. And what we found was, through the stories, was that often everything that people affected by cancer needed to have that, to an extent, alleviated was already out there. There were social groups that lonely people could become involved with. There were ways in which people could reduce their energy bills and offers to do that if they knew about them. There was access to health services and other services. There was ways to engage people. All that was out there. But one of the real problems in looking after very vulnerable people is that their needs are very complex, and their ability to navigate a very complex system is quite limited. And what the advocacy service really did was help these people access things that were already there. And that's really a big part of why it was able to create big returns for quite a low cost, because it wasn't actually trying to provide anything new, it was making it more easy to matchmake between the person and the thing they needed, which both were already there.
There's certainly a social underpinning, behind these costs and benefit that needs also to be accounted and taken into context. That's what really this report and this methodology highlights.
And then once you start to incorporate the financial, the economic and the social benefits of the advocacy programme, so that's not just looking at the individual, that's considering the effect that that has on their families and the release of efficiencies in the NHS system, we found that the programme itself produces just shy of 7 times of a social return.
In a nutshell, for every pound invested, we found, based on the information that we'd received, that there was about 6.7 to 7 pounds of return on investment, so almost a 7-fold of what was being put in to the services.
And what the work really brought home to me is the huge value it brings to the lives of individuals when an advocacy service helps them connect with those things they need and start making decisions for themselves again and feeling empowered to do that. And as a bonus, the cost is low and the benefits to the health system mean it actually almost pays for itself. So the real takeaway message is that there's a huge amount of value out there which doesn't cost a huge amount to access. And cancer advocacy services, from the work we've done, really do seem to be a good route to access that.